So the release of the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is a few days away, and there are so many changes about the upcoming foldable that I'm super excited for. But today I wanted to do a little refresher / review, if you will, on the Galaxy Z Flip 5G. This is an exciting video, so grab the popcorn, relax those shoulders, kick back and just enjoy. The Z Flip is a revolutionary phone in every sense of the term. Samsung is always on the forefront of innovation, and the Z Flip 5G is proof that they aren't afraid of testing the limits of the market. To be quite frank with you, I wasn't a big fan of the Z Flip 5G before I got a chance to use it extensively as my daily driver. I've had this device for a little over a month now, approximately 45 days, and I must say after a good month plus of daily usage, I now prefer the Z Flip for its overall compact form factor and design over the Z Fold's design. And to be honest with you, I never thought that I would be saying that. We'll get into all the juicy details on why that is in just a little bit, but before we continue, I want to let you guys know about this amazing promotion that Samsung currently has going on. So if you decide to pre-order the upcoming brand new Galaxy Z Flip 3 or the Galaxy Z Fold 3, you will be entitled to the following 3 awesome perks just for reserving a spot and signing up. Number 1, you'll get an extra $100 of trade-in credit for your current device. Number 2, you'll get the first 12 months of Samsung Care Plus for free. And number 3, you will get an extra special offer towards Galaxy products during pre-order. And all you gotta do is literally sign up. It takes about 30 seconds, fill out the following information and then hit reserve. That's all there is to it. There is a link in the description below for you guys, so make sure you go and check that out. And you guys already know that I will be picking up the Z Flip 3 for review purposes. So if you guys do not want to miss a single video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell notification icon because all of August is going to be pretty hectic with Samsung content. I'll start off by saying over time, the Z Flip has really grown on me. I can see the vertical form factor becoming mainstream once the price of this device becomes affordable to the masses. First off, I'm not really a fan of big phones. My go-to iPhone of choice is the iPhone 12 mini, and this thing when folded is smaller and more compact than the 12 mini. But when unfolded in its vertical orientation, you get a massive 6.7-inch 21:9 display with a thin, narrow form factor that's easy to handle and more importantly, easily pocketable when folded. This is ideal for someone like me who likes to travel light. During the summer, I like to carry a fanny pack strapped to my chest which holds all of my everyday essentials. I'm currently using this Nike hip waist pack. I just picked it up this year. This is good enough for me to carry my wallet, keys, and a bit of cash, and of course, my flip phone. I definitely recommend this if you don't like having your pockets stuffed to the brim. There is an Amazon link in the description below. When you purchase a Z Flip, there is no questioning it. You are paying a premium for this awesome compact form factor. Let me tell you from experience, this is a conversation starter. They have a ton of questions regarding its use case, and the one thing that everyone seems to want to know is if it's practical for everyday usage. There is no denying it. With this phone, there is an extra step for getting into your device. Is that annoying? Not really. I guess it depends on the type of person you are. For myself, flipping open this phone is actually pretty cool. Not to mention when you want to hang up on someone, just slam this thing shut and you are looking like a boss in public. So the one main change that I'm excited to check out with the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is the outer display. On the Z Flip 5G, this 1-inch display is quite useless. I mean, Samsung has the right idea here, but there isn't a good enough reason to ever use this. Currently, it's only good for quick glance notifications, like telling the time and short previews of text and other notifications. If you want to, you can double tap the power button and use the outer display as a viewfinder for taking selfies. That is pretty much all you could do with this 1-inch outer display. With the Z Flip 3 though, we are expecting a more practical front display. A bigger display in which we can actually use to reply to a few texts, expand on notifications, and not really have to unfold our device for quick responses to notifications. So I'm really looking forward to checking that out on the Z Flip 3. I don't know how Samsung did it, but they really nailed this hinge on the Z Flip and the Z Fold. Hinges are a critical component on folding phones, obviously, but Samsung took it a step further and they made a nearly gapless hinge with tiny brushes inside that keep the hinge from collecting dirt and dust particles. Simply putting it, this hinge is really good. It's a well-balanced, sturdy hinge and you are able to use it in what Samsung calls flex mode at almost any angle. No matter the angle, this phone will stay hinged in place. You see what I did there? Inevitably, with every hinge comes a crease. And a common question that comes up a lot is, does the crease bother you? This crease doesn't bother me. In fact, 90% of the time when I'm using this phone, I barely notice it's there. Unless I'm standing underneath some bright light, I barely notice it. But the thing is, over time, your brain does learn learn to adapt, and kind of like the notch on an iPhone, you don't notice the crease as much over time. But I do, however, feel the crease whenever I run my fingers through the center of the display. You can feel your fingers take sort of a dive right in the center and then come back up again. It's kind of like a butterfly stroke for all of my swimmers out there. Durability of the Hinge was a big question mark early on when this phone was initially released, but over time with constant use, Samsung has proven the doubters wrong. There is no doubt about it, this Hinge is going to last you quite a long time, and that's what we as consumers want to see. There are powerful magnets on the top and the bottom of the phone that keep your phone snugly shut. You can flip the phone open using one hand, but you are met with quite a bit of resistance. Most of the time I find myself unfolding the flip using both hands. As is the case with every folding phone, a good case is hard to come by. Most case manufacturers choose to skip making cases for folding phones altogether. I've been through a ton of cases for the Z Flip, and this one by Rinky is the case that I do recommend. It's a two-part shell case that covers both the outer top and the outer bottom of the phone. I've dropped this phone countless times on occasion, and there isn't a single scratch on it, except on the outer hinge. You can see small scratches from plenty of drops right next to the Samsung logo. So maybe a little screen protector of some sort would be a unique cool idea that companies can start making just to protect this area right here. Let's talk about the inner display. When unfolded, this display is pretty good. We got a little punch hole right in the middle right here housing the selfie camera. This is a 1080p OLED display running at 60Hz. The Z Flip 5G is a quick snappy phone with the best specs available to date for a flip phone. There are rather noticeable thick bezels judging by 2021 standards. Thicker bezels are actually necessary for folding phones in order to protect the inner display. There is no applicable screen protector on this phone, so a thicker bezel is there to protect the ultra thin folding glass. As I mentioned, the Z Flip is quick, snappy, and a multitasking beast. One UI 3.0 does a great job of utilizing this 21:9 aspect ratio. 21:9 is cool, but it does make the Z Flip way too tall. Reaching the top of this display one-handed is no easy task, and when you want to watch videos, you do get sizable black bars on either end of the display. If you try to zoom into the video, too much of the video does get cut off, and I really don't see this issue being addressed on the Z Flip 3. Running two apps simultaneously on top of one another is a great way to utilize this aspect ratio. My favorite go-to combination for multitasking is WhatsApp and YouTube. Usually during my downtime, I'm just trolling the WhatsApp group chat while watching a few tech videos. Battery life on the Z Flip 5G is subpar. It's got a pretty big 3300 mAh battery, but I've been getting some pretty poor screen on time. I'm getting around 6 to 6.5 hours, which is decent considering all the multitasking I do, but I need more battery. Luckily, the Z Flip does support 15W fast charging and 9W fast wireless charging. To my genuine surprise, I actually use flex mode for a lot of different situations. Sometimes I'll just kick it on my bed and use flex mode to text laying down while the upper display is folded facing directly down at me. And there are other times where I'll just watch a video using the top part of the screen while scrolling through Twitter on the bottom half. The multitasking combinations are endless, and using this phone in flex mode is a lot of fun, making the Z Flip unique in its own right. What I really like is that the fingerprint reader is found on the right hand side of the phone embedded within the power button. This, in my opinion, is a better option than using an in-display fingerprint reader. I just find physical fingerprint readers to be more accurate while reading my fingerprint in comparison to an in-display fingerprint reader. The Z Flip 5G is equipped with two cameras on the back, a 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. These aren't the best cameras Samsung has to offer, but they are the best cameras found on a flip phone to date. The shots you can get are rather decent, and there are some cool shots you can get using flex mode within the camera app. If you want a more in-depth look at the cameras on the Z Flip, click on this link right here, and you can watch my full review and get my full thoughts on the Z Flip's camera system. At the end of the day, the Z Flip 5G is the most polished and matured flip/folding phone yet. Durability is good, and it seems to be holding up just fine even with time. A vertical folding phone is starting to make a lot of sense to me. There are a lot of ways to implement the Hinge on a day-to-day basis just to make your life a little bit easier. Multitasking on this phone is just terrific. I'm always running two apps simultaneously on this phone, and it handles multitasking like a champ. If you want to learn more or are looking to buy a Z Flip 5G, there is a link in the description below. If you're looking to pick up the upcoming Z Flip 3 or the Z Fold 3, make sure to sign up for Samsung Reserve and get those awesome perks. I will leave you guys with my full review on the Z Fold 2. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to flex with your flex mode tech.